To begin, Chris and I started on this story from a different place. Chris lives near the chemical plant. Chris personalized the risk of living near the chemical plant, as you would when you live 7 kilometers downwind of some of the most noxious, hazardous chemicals created by humankind.
I've known the Connexus plant has been there for a while. I knew it when I moved into the neighborhoods. They make things like chlorine and they ship them from the plant by rail.
The problem is not Connexus, the problem is chlorine. One thing we often grapple with is sensationalism, gratuitous reporting, and fear-mongering. And we all like to think we're quite safe and protected, so when you publicize potential terrorist target, is it unnecessarily going to fear people, or is it a genuine concern that respectable citizens also hold? Because I'm not putting out there that I think Connexus could be bombed tomorrow, but I am reporting that there are people in the community who believe that chlorine is a big enough risk that a chlorine manufacturer will in fact be targeted.
My philosophy as a citizen is the same philosophy I take to camping. I want to leave it better than I found it. I also feel like I have an obligation to my children to make this a better country than I found it. That old statement, I think it was Rabbi Hillel, said, "Justice, always justice," and that's what I believe in.
It's not upsetting people for nothing. People have a right to know what exists in their backyard, and Connexus exists in the backyard of 1 million people. I don't think that's giving information to terrorists. One thing that a lot of the people I talked to said was, this is something that people who are bent on destruction already know about, and if they are planning to do something like this, we're not going to provide them with any information that they don't already have, and that can really even help them in any way. They have the answers to any of the questions that we may be addressing for citizens who don't know about these risks. So what I found was that during their expansion and technological upgrades, Connexus is actually going to be closing. And the timing was significant. They're going to be closed, as all of their public documentation says, during the first quarter of 2010. And I wanted to know if VANOC, if the International Organizing Committee, if the Integrated Security Unit, any of the branches that are bringing the Olympics to Vancouver would have had any influence in the timing of that closure, because they thought they would be a risk to people coming to Vancouver for the Olympics.
One thing the Olympics has shown me, and the Vancouver's Olympic Adventure has shown me, is that the citizens of this city and the province did not have all the facts at their disposal going in. And what we lacked in the plebiscite, and what has really been lacking up until now from a lot of the media, has been the balance of showing different sides of the story. They've shown the corporate side, they've shown the sporting side, the athlete side, the good news side. They have, up until lately, they have not shown much of the negative impacts. And so the fact that the Observer also allows the happy version to be shown is fine, as long as the other part comes out too. So I think the Observer and other papers are doing somewhat of a better job now of giving a more rounded perspective. So I'm perfectly comfortable being on the same page with Suzanne Anton, who loves the Olympics. That's fine. At least the people who read the Observer can see both perspectives at once.